Welcome back to our Swisslog Intralogistics Lounge. My name is Franziska Zimmermann, and today we're looking at a real customer case and the question of what it actually takes to deliver successful warehouse automation. And for that, I'm joined by Michael Schramm, Senior Manager Automation and Robotics at MediaMarktSaturn, and Markus Kirchoff, Head of Sales EMEA at Swisslog. So welcome, great to have you both here. And to start with, Michael, how long have you actually been working together with Swisslog?
So we started to work together with Swisslog around about 3 years ago with conception phase, also RFP, RFQ processes, tendered all that stuff, which is, I think, in policy and really important to come to a conclusion what system fits best.
Yeah.
And provided this project and the automation project now in the last phase. So it's nearly been 3 years we worked together with Swisslog, and really good partnership.
And what does the project actually look like? Is it, you mentioned automation?
Yeah, exactly. We set up our automation project, which mainly the heart piece of that automation project is a goods to person system, which delivers the goods directly to the persons instead of the persons need to go to the goods. And that is all together with a intralogistics layout, which includes a few packaging machines, which includes a lot of conveyance, which includes also software for the intelligence which the system has.
Yeah.
And all in all, that all together is called our really nice automation project.
Okay, good to hear. And Markus, to bring you in here, do you still remember when the tender process actually started, and were you confident of winning the project from the very beginning?
Well, from the very beginning, it's in sales, for sure you always trust that you will win it. And I purely remind that the entire journey to start it up with first discussions, concepts, also reference visits, which are really important to show that we have a proven track record. So that was the journey so far. And then it was a classical handover from what you promise in sales to what the proof should be. And this was here really classical, that it's not a hard cut, So we feel the responsibility, and then to do the handover, and in the end to see how successful it was.
And it was successful, so you won the project. And what actually, Michael, triggered your decision to automate, or what have been the pain points before?
That's a really tough question, to be honest. And honestly, we as Europeans leading omnichannel service platform as MediaMarktSaturn, we had absolutely started with an absolutely clear target and goal into that automation journey, which was to give our customers the most convenient shopping experience they can get, and that across all sales channels. And therefore, to make that happen, we needed to focus on product availability and also on logistics. So a few key reasons for that were, for example, that we wanted to use the opportunity to transform our fulfillment center into true omnichannel warehouses. And that's, by the way, also a strategic topic for us, which helps us to stay flexible, which helps us to stay customer focused and centric and responsive to our customers. Secondly, for sure, it was also the manual handling cost, or the handling cost which we needed to address. Yeah. The traditional way of working and processing each item individual just wasn't sustainable anymore. Yeah. So we needed to change something. That there were few other reasons as well, like the challenging labor situation on the market and all that stuff. But in the end, all of that reasons concluded into one outcome, and that outcome was pretty clear. Automation is not just a nice to have for us, it's essential. It becomes essential. And essential to stay ahead and on pace with a fast-paced market, and also essential to keep our customer promise.
Yeah. And by the way, when you talk about the automation project, did you automate like one warehouse, or how did you start, or your whole processes?
Actually, we started with one warehouse, which we automated, the most centric warehouse in Germany.
And where is it?
It's in Göttingen.
In Göttingen,
okay. In Göttingen, exactly, and that's the most centric warehouse in Germany, and delivers a lot of volume for the entire German network in our one-man handling process. So we started to automate this warehouse because every other warehouse would be either the same or scaled down. So if for sure, if Swisslog can provide a system in such a big warehouse and such a complex system, for sure they will be able to provide other systems as well.
Yeah. Can you? You can, I guess.
Sure. What a question. What a question.
Yeah. Okay. And how long did it actually take from the idea to the go live of the project in that warehouse in Göttingen?
Yeah, we started with the contract sign. I won't go through the tender and
no.
and that process. I'll start with the implementation timeline.
Yes.
It started by end of October 2023, where contract was signed, and we started to kick off the entire project. And after we started the project, we directly went into working mode to create specifications, blueprints, to sign things off, because that milestone, which ended in June 2024, was a really important milestone. It's set so-called in stone what we get in the next 2 years in equipment as well as on software. So that was a really, really important milestone. After that specifications were delivered, we started directly with engineering processes, with manufacturing processes. Most of the processes were as well done by Swisslog. They contacted manufacturers to exactly manufacture the machines which we specified in the thing before, to get a machine which really fits our needs. And parallel to that point, we also had the implementation. The implementation started parallel by June 2024 and ended by May 2025. That was also the point where we said we want to go live. But during the project, we experienced a few, not a few issues, but we thought it would be better to have a staggered go live. So we not brought live all our sales channels at one point. One by one, and we went live in June 2025 with our business to store channel to replenish our store goods, and we went live in February 2026 with our business to customer channel. So now everything is live.
It was just some weeks ago.
Just some weeks ago, and now we are live. We have one milestone left, I guess. That's the final acceptance, where Swisslog needs to provide the performance and the availability, which is noted down in the contract as well. And then I guess we are done with a successful project.
You're ready for the next.
Ready for the next, exactly.
Okay, and which part of the implementation which parts of the implementation were the most complex? What would you say? Or maybe you can also answer that question.
I remind an important milestone. Maybe you remember that as well. That was not as such a complex, but it was, let's say, very, very detailed for steelworks and for D norms for screws. You cannot imagine how detailed some of the questions can be. But the importance of that on the entire project was a heavy one. So it's like Formula One. Sometimes it's a failure in a small piece which is breaking the system. And to be honest, it was designed to be successful, and there was no tolerance not to be successful. And that's why I remind that situation where we had several discussions with external parties how to deliver steelworks that the statics will work. So that was a milestone we had to cross together, usually. And finally we did it.
Okay. Great, and that brings me actually to my next question for you, Michael. How did the collaboration between your team and Swisslog actually work in practice? So,
to be honest, the collaboration between our teams worked really, really well. I think one crucial point at the beginning of the project was directly to set clear expectations, and we all were on the same page. We said that are the expectations. We all want to fulfill that expectations. We had, for example, a slogan which was, "We always communicate straight, clear, structured, and honest to all parties. Not all to all parties, all levels and all peers." And that was something which really brought us forward, to be honest.
Okay, good to hear. So you also see like Michael.
Absolutely. I get reflections. Even the last weeks, we got some reflections, and it's let's say for us as a company, it's not only that we have sold an automation system. It's to see that it works and that it brings benefits. That's the core of our company. Yeah. It's not just to bring the turnover and to be successful in the market. It's really to see, no, we brought benefit to our customer.
Yeah, and now looking ahead a bit, is this just the beginning, or do you see the collaboration expanding also to further sites?
Yeah, I would not say it's only just the beginning. I think in such a competitive environment, automation plays an absolutely vital role. As I said before, the manual handling costs are rising, markets are getting tougher. Yeah. So we need to further automate, and this is I guess our future course as well. And we have one perfect partner for that. So it showed, the last 3 years showed seamlessly that the collaboration with Swisslog is absolutely great.
Good to hear. And I think for the next project, it's always easier, if you know each other already and you know the processes and all that. So yeah, good. Great. So great to hear. That sounds very promising. So a lot of, we wish you a lot of luck for the next projects, and thanks for being with us. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Now, we heard that scalability was key factor in this project, and if you'd like to learn more, take a look at Swisslog's AutoStore integrator page and see how these systems are designed to grow over time. Thank you.